Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Sir Alex Ferguson Challenge with West Ham. Now today's episode was meant to be the end of season game against Bournemouth, but we made it to the FA Cup semi-final, so I just had to bring you this. So the FA Cup semi-final draw has been done and we will be playing Southampton. Now obviously I had my fingers crossed to pick up Aston Villa, but I think we have done okay against Southampton this season. I'll just quickly check in the schedule to see what our last result was like. So we'll beat them 2-1 at the beginning of December, and I don't think have we played them twice? I don't think we have. Oh, we've got them in the league in the next game as well, so we do have a good record against them. Obviously that was a home tie, so you would expect that from us. But going into it, looking at the league table, seeing where Southampton are, they're in 13th, we're in 9th. After bouncing back massively, I think we should get through to the final. But quickly, before we get into the semi-final, we'll go through the fixtures that you've missed. Now, you might be seeing something missing on this screen. I have no substitutes. Right, let's just quickly explain this. I picked my team, and I usually just let my assistant pick me substitutes when I'm not live commenting a game. And unfortunately, I'm not used to clearing the substitutes to pick me substitutes. That was the option I selected, and I didn't check, and I went through to the game, and we had no substitutes for this game. But we still managed to win, and unfortunately we didn't pick up any injuries or anything, so nobody had to come off. But we'll quickly have a look at the goals. Felipe Anderson here going down the left-hand side. He finds Creswell, nice cross in. A typical, what we've come to know now, a Javier Hernandez finished. He got himself another 2 today, one in the 90th minute as well. So of course he is proven to be very useful. Andrew Robertson there getting himself an own goal, which was unfortunate for him. They did claw it back to 2-2, and because we didn't have any substitutes, I was really scared. I was worrying quite a lot because our team was flagging. We couldn't make any changes. A lot of people were low on conditioning. So when they brought it back to 2-2, I feared for the worst, but then we just turned it on. In the 86th minute, Felipe Anderson gets himself a goal. Marko Arnautovic finally gets himself a goal in the 89th minute. I think that's his first goal in quite a while. Obviously, he's been out injured, but thankfully he's back on the scoring charts. And Creswell gets himself a cross for Chicharito again. Them two combining lovely. And Aaron Creswell is just a fantastic player, by the way. If you ever had the opportunity to sign him, I would recommend it. And this is how we got into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We took the lead, Zabaleta getting a cross in here. It gets cleared, but Lanzini absolutely rockets it in from the edge of the box. That gave us the lead. Mark Noble gets himself a goal here, header at the back post, simple as you like it, an easy free kick. Marko Arnautovic gets himself on the goal sheet once more in the 30th minute, which was absolutely fantastic. A nice driven shot from his left foot from the edge of the box. But then Swansea started to come back into it in the second half. Wilfred Bonney getting himself a goal early on in the second half in the 46th minute, which made it 3-1. And then Swansea got themselves another goal. Wayne Routledge on the edge of the box this time, managing to put it away. So it was 3-2 at this point. But in the 93rd minute, we made sure with a Lucas header. Then unfortunately, we went away to Manchester City and got beat. Raheem Sterling getting a 30th minute goal for them, which, you know, they're top of the league. It was to be expected. And then finally, we went away to Huddersfield and won 2-1. Jack Wilshere started this game ahead of Lanzini, as Lanzini was struggling for fitness, and he gets the early goal there. Wagnerman running into the box. I thought he would have took the strike on, but he finds Jack Wilshere, who puts it away, and then Aaron Creswell with an absolute peach of a free kick. Aaron Moy gave them a very late consolation, but the damage was already done, and we come away with the 3 points. Now, unfortunately, in this game, Wagnerman got himself injured and he is out for 6-7 weeks. So he probably missed the rest of the season now. He's been fantastic since we signed him. 7.19, playing at right back. 18 years old German. He's going to be a big part of our future. So he'll be straight back in for next season, hopefully. Jack Wilshere played well in this match as well, so you can't complain. Right, that's enough of the previous fixtures. Let's get into selecting our side. And we're going to start with Timo Horn in goal. And with Wagnerman being injured, Pablo Zabaleta is going to have to start at right back. Issa Diop and Reece Oxford will take the centre-back spots, with Arthur Masuaku coming in for the injured Aaron Creswell. Mark Noble's going to start this game in the deep lying playmaker role. And Declan Rice is not going to start today. It'll be Gilavogi, that's what we'll go with. On the right hand side, we can start with Arnautovic. We'll have Manuel Lanzini in the attacker midfielder centre role, Felipe Anderson on the left, and Javier Hernandez up top. On the bench, we'll go with Ogbonna. We will put Declan Rice on the bench. Pedro Obion can go on there, Jack Wilshere, Yarmolenko, Nolito and Lucas. So Southampton will line up with a 4-4-2. Any outstanding players here? No big changes from when the game starts. So we did beat them at home. Obviously neutral ground now, Wembley. We'll see how things go. So we kick off against Southampton. We are shooting from right to left in this first half. Let's get to the final, lads. Come on. Tell you what we'll do. We'll try and keep an eye on... Actually, I doubt they're playing at the same time. Of course they're not. It's the FA Cup semi-final. Ignore me. Lanzini here on the ball. Coming down the centre. He's absolutely done a load of men there. Javi Hernandez is in behind. And he gets the goal. I don't know what the defending was doing there. We'll take a look in 3D. But excellent work from Lanzini. Coming through the midfield. I think he started pretty much on the halfway line. And he beats about 3 or 4 players here to get all the way through. Absolutely does them all. Plays through Hernandez. What a challenge that was to set himself up. Absolutely does his name. And gets himself a goal in the FA Cup semis. Another highlight here, and Reece Oxford with a big win in the air. Felipe Anderson on this left-hand side. Lanzini's got a lot of space for Zabaleta on this right-hand side. Has he got a decent cross? No, he hasn't. Is this going to be a Southampton counter? Zabaleta gets back and makes an absolutely fantastic challenge. What a dodgy pass that was, Zabaleta. Oxford did deal with it slightly, but they are coming forward now with Gabbiadini to target on this left-hand side. Cedric's got a lot of space for the overlap on the right-hand side. Are they going to get the ball in? They are. Back post targets there. Unmarked. That all came from Zabaleta. First of all with these terrible cross. Second of all with these terrible pass to Reece Oxford. This is why I didn't want to play him. As you can see, the overlap down this right-hand side absolutely killed us. And the back post cross to Matthew Target. Bit too easy, but yeah, it all comes down to Zabaleta. If our German right-back was starting, that goal would not have happened. Highlight now, and Arnautovic with the ball quite deep. Let's see what he can do with it. He's beat 1, he's beat 2. Oh, come on. Oh, good challenge in the end, but it's a good run from Arnautovic. Lanzini now's got it on the halfway line. Can we build something from the back here? Felipe Anderson, he's darting inside. We've got the players, to run at people. He takes a strike, didn't get him target, but I like that. I like the fact that our wingers and our attacking players in general are willing to run at defenders. Lanzini with the corner here. Felipe Anderson gets the ball, takes the strike, beats Alex McCarthy. 2-1. As we can see here, a Lanzini corner. Don't know who wins the header. It's the Southampton defenders headering it against each other. And if that was my keeper, I'd be absolutely fuming. Highlight now, Mark Noble with the corner this time. Reece Oxford's completely unmarked at the back post, and he makes it 3-1. First goal of the season for Reece Oxford. He's come in this season, just chucked him into the first team, and he's been absolutely fantastic. And getting the goal today is just icing on the cake. Noble, yeah, what? I think this might be, maybe it's a bug, maybe it's an issue with the standard corner tactic that Football Manager implements into the game, but there's a lot of times where corners come in and there's just no marking whatsoever. I understand it's zonal by default, but the amount of times there's just been an open player in the box, I've conceded them. I've conceded plenty. It seems to be a bit of an issue, so it might be something they'll look into coming towards the full release of the game. But there's 2 minutes of added time here before half time, and we come away with the ball as Masuaku comes down this left hand side. Hernandez is in so much space, completely unmarked in the box, and he gets his second goal of the game, 17th goal of the season, and he's been a revelation ever since he's come into the first team. Excellent play by Masuaku on this left hand side, dispossesses Toljan, who's our right midfielder or right back, and Masuaku gets the ball in. Chicharito's there. Fantastic. So we'll kick off the second half very much comfortable in this game, 4-1 up. Same in the game. Same again for the second half, boys, please. Mark Noble's got the ball in the box. Finds Lanzini, who takes the strike, but it goes just over. 65 minutes in now. We are comfortable in this game, so I feel confident enough to make some changes. Zabaleta's going to have to stay on, unfortunately. We'll get Reece Oxford off. He's one of our first 11, so saving his conditioning is paramount, even if he's only a defender. Mark Noble, I'll keep him on, Mark Noble, because I've got plenty of options in central midfield, so if he's knackered for the next game, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get Felipe Anderson off for Lucas. We'll give him some game time. 25 minutes to go. We'll save our last substitute just in case of injuries or the like. Let's see what happens. There we go. Zabaleta gets himself injured. 15 minutes to go. Declan Rice is quite versatile, so I think I'm going to get him on for Zabaleta. Obviously, completely unnatural position for the lad, but because of how versatile he is, I just hope he can adapt quite quickly. Noble with the ball. Guilavogui. Can we get another goal? Make it 5-1. That will be incredibly nice. Masuaku, come on. Get the... Lucas should have been making the dart and run down there, opening up the space for Hernandez to run into one of the central midfielders. Martin Noble, Lanzini, Arnautovic now. Got the overlap on the right hand side if we want it, but it looks like we're playing it through the middle this time. Guilavogui to Lucas. Come on, look at the overlaps on the wings. Chicharito finds Lanzini, takes the strike. Decent save by McCarthy. I think we could have worked that better if we'd used our fullbacks, honestly. 20 seconds remain in this FA Cup semi-final, and we are going to go through to the FA Cup final incredibly comfortably. Let's see if Southampton can get a final goal just to ruin me parade a little bit. No, they're not going to. Lanzini wins the ball in midfield, and that's going to be that. Ref, blow the whistle. We don't need another goal. That's it. Full time. West Ham 4, Southampton 1. An absolutely fantastic result. Hopefully leading to our first piece of silverware as West Ham manager. Sir Alex Ferguson didn't do this in his first season. So a convincing 4-1 win against Southampton there. Absolutely fantastic. And obviously the next episode will, of course, be the FA Cup final versus either Aston Villa or Arsenal. I wonder when they're playing. If they're playing soon in the next couple of days, I'll forward it on just to find out. We're going to imagine it's going to be Arsenal, but so they're playing on the 7th of April. That's tomorrow. I'll continue on and we'll see who will play in the final. And oh my days, it will be a West Ham Aston Villa final. Kolasinac got himself sent off in the 2nd minute for Arsenal, which meant Villa absolutely trounced them 5-1. So we will be playing a championship team in the FA Cup final, which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit scared of. If we were playing Arsenal and we get beat, you understand that. If we play Aston Villa and we get beat, that's not understandable. But anyway, that will be the next episode. It will be the final episode of this season, so we will of course do some wrap up, look at the players, discuss future transfers and things, and plans for the summer. If you've enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you enjoy my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.